Wondering how many stocks you should own in your portfolio? Want to know if you'd be best off with a concentrated portfolio? Want to know if you'd be better off with a broadly diversified portfolio? Then you have to check out today's video.
He is a best-selling author.
30-year-old Jason Fieber has a plan.
This guy retired at only 33 years old.
I don't know if I know too many people that have accomplished something like that.
He's really kind of a guru when it comes to passive income.
Before I get into today's content, please give us a big thumbs up if you find value in our videos. Helps us to get the word out and grow the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. I've received one question from other investors, maybe more than any other question out there. That question is this: how many stocks should I own in my portfolio? It's a great question. Unfortunately, there is no right or wrong answer that applies to everyone. However, there is a right or wrong answer depending on what kind of investor you are and what your goals are. And that's exactly what I want to talk about today. I'm going to tell you why I'm broadly diversified and own more than 100 different stocks in my personal stock portfolio. Now, this doesn't make 100 or more stocks the right answer for you, but I hope that sharing this information with you gives you some context to work with when determining your own proper level of diversification within your own portfolio. Ready? Let's dig in. First, let me start by saying I believe in broad diversification within a stock portfolio. This belief is based on who I am as an investor and my goals as an investor. I'm a dividend growth investor whose investing goal all along was to achieve financial independence and retire by 40 years old by living off of safe, growing, passive dividend income. With that in mind, broad diversification makes a ton of sense. There is very little cost, yet a ton of benefit. Let's imagine you're living off of dividend income right now. Do you want all of your passive income to be dependent on just 1, 2, or even 10 companies? If you own an evenly concentrated portfolio of 10 stocks and one of them has to eliminate their dividend, you're out 10% of your income. How would you feel if 10% of your income just suddenly disappeared overnight? Probably not great, especially since I can guarantee you that 10% of your bills aren't going to just go away. Those bills are only going up. If you own an evenly diversified portfolio of 100 stocks and one of them has to eliminate their dividend, you're only out 1% of your income. That's a massive difference. In this case, it would take 10 dividend eliminations by 10 different companies to put you in the same situation as the investor with a heavily concentrated portfolio and only one cut. There's simply a much larger margin of safety here, and if you're investing in high quality dividend growth stocks, the odds of experiencing 10 different dividend eliminations all in one go are highly unlikely. This is amazing portfolio and income defense. Diversification gets even better. You also get offense. That's because even if you do experience an unfavorable dividend outcome or two in a portfolio of 100 stocks, you've got 98 or 99 other high quality dividend growth stocks offensively increasing their dividends. That means a cut or two barely even shows up on the radar because the portfolio is so busy ballasting itself with dozens of other dividend increases. Before you know it, you're already back ahead of the game. I know. My portfolio ran through the pandemic-induced crash last March, and guess what? The income took a small licking, but overall kept on ticking, and then some. There was a small temporary drop in income production from the portfolio as some dividend eliminations from even blue chip stalwarts like Walt Disney Co., stock ticker DIS, rocked the boat. All the same though, dozens of other dividend increases from incredibly reliable businesses like Johnson & Johnson, stock ticker J&J, more than made up for it, quickly putting me ahead of the game and righting the ship. It was smooth sailing in what could have been very rocky waters had I went into that storm with a very concentrated portfolio. Diversification has amazing benefits, and the crazy thing is there aren't many costs to it. It's not like it costs more money to diversify. Trades are free these days. Also, a lot of people seem to think that running a large portfolio is difficult or time-consuming. Well, that's just not true. I don't need to babysit world-class enterprises like Johnson & Johnson. They don't need input from little old Jason Fieber, right? Besides, that's why I invest in high-quality businesses, so that they can make me money while I go about living my life. The more of this, the merrier. Furthermore, technology makes managing a broadly diversified portfolio easier than ever. I routinely get emails and notifications with summaries of news events, dividend declarations, and earnings results. It literally only takes minutes per day to check on relevant items. Yet, I sleep like a baby for 8 hours every night, which is priceless. I'll gladly exchange a few minutes per day for hours of easy rest, especially since I actually enjoy keeping abreast of business news. It's a hobby that actually pays me, unlike most hobbies out there that cost a ton of money. That said, diversification isn't cost-free. Every cost-benefit analysis has both costs and benefits. Nothing in this world is without trade-offs. In this case, you risk losing out on some outperformance relative to a benchmark. All the same though, diversification reduces the risk of underperformance relative to a benchmark. And besides, is some extra potential money at the end of your life worth all the potential headaches and losses that heavy concentration can result in? Think of it this way. Have you ever heard of a heavily concentrated portfolio manager blowing up? Of course you have. Ever heard of an investor managing a broadly diversified portfolio of high quality, blue chip, dividend growth stocks blowing up? Highly doubt it. It's just a lower risk way to approach long-term investing. And since stocks are inherently risky and volatile, being broadly diversified is, to me, a prudent way to approach things over the long run. This is especially true if, like me, your aim is to live off of the growing dividend income your portfolio produces for you. The last thing I'd want to have to do is go back to my old day job because my dividend income dried up. And if your goal is to achieve financial independence and even potentially retire early, I'd strongly consider being broadly diversified within your own portfolio. Once you pull the trigger on quitting the job in favor of living off of passive income, you'd better be sure that income is extremely reliable and can withstand any storm that comes its way. Because I can tell you from experience, bills are very reliable and will keep coming no matter how hard it's raining outside. My last point is this. There are so many great businesses out there. There's no need to artificially limit yourself to only a few of them. Even with well over 100 stocks in my own portfolio, I can easily rattle off another 100 amazing businesses that I don't yet own a slice of. There are thousands of publicly traded companies out there. I mean, the S&P 500 index, which is the market and kind of the gold standard these days, has 500 stocks in it. Every stock in my portfolio is like a golden goose laying ever more golden eggs. Why only have a gaggle of 10 or 20 geese when there are hundreds of golden geese out there all too happy to lay a growing pile of golden eggs for you? Why not reduce your single stock exposure and lower your risk of permanent capital and or income loss? I can't answer those questions very well, so I've chosen to build a very large gaggle of some of the very best golden geese in the world. You might want to consider doing the same. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give us a like if you did, and let us know in the comments what you think about how many stocks you should own in your portfolio. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you don't miss out on new content. Also, take a look at the description box below for some important links, including the link to my personal stock portfolio. This six-figure portfolio, which I call the Fire Fund, generates enough passive dividend income for me to live off of. It allowed me to retire in my early 30s. I've made my portfolio entirely accessible over a Patreon, and I also post alerts there whenever I buy or sell a stock. I put my money where my mouth is, and I'm often invested in the same high quality dividend growth stocks that I make videos on. Over the years, I've heard from thousands of investors who've been profiting from many of the same exact stocks that I own. So if you think this is something that you could benefit from as well, check the link in the description to see my portfolio and start getting my buy and sell alerts. I'll see you next time.